Reunion. Hello, y'all. I was selling crack on a private jet up in the hell and back. But no confusion, this a reunion. Hello, y'all. Welcome back. Get murder here. He counting money. He said, "Can man, the hell with rap." I'm only here to shit on niggas and piss on bitches. Welcome, ass. I bought jewelry and bikes, nigga. Black Benzes and white Vigors. Now I'm out here and I'm looking for more chandeliers and light fixtures. Nah. I don't like niggas, what's wrong with me? I'm a hype nigga, but this 44 turn to Michael Jordan. I look and say, take flight, nigga.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and New York, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog Fantasy app. Use code MACE, CAM, or STAT to get up to $250 in bonus cash with your first deposit and a special pick. It's the easiest way to win on Underdog. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts Mace and Cam. And we are joined today with our analyst, Maurice Clarett.
Mo, what's good?
What's going on?
Mo, what up, man? How you? Oh, my mic ain't. My bad. Mo, what's good? How you doing, man?
All is well, man.
Good.
Took my daughter to orientation yesterday. It's a great day.
That's what's up, man. Congrats.
What school? What school? Shout out the school.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Ohio State, baby.
Why they put Larry on the screen? She's not going to Larry's school.
Nah, we went to orientation at Ohio State yesterday, so all is well. It's been a good week.
That's good, man.
Congrats to her. That's fire.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's get started, y'all. Woo. Bronny James is officially a Los Angeles Laker.
Yo, you still a vegan?
Yeah, this is what my skin is glowing? Yo, pause.
I'm actually, you still a vegan. That's what.
I'm pescatarian.
All right. Now, I was in Lolo's Chicken and Waffles and seen your picture up recently.
What?
I was in Lolo's Chicken and Waffles and I seen your picture up in there. And they said,
that was way back. That was when I first came out here.
They said it was last week.
Lolo. See what you did, Lolo?
I'm just checking. I forgot to mention that.
That was like in
Are
last
you a
year,
vegetarian or not, bro?
I said pescatarian.
What does that mean exactly?
What does it mean?
Like seafood, fish.
Yeah, like.
So the answer is no.
Asking me what it means.
The answer is no. This is not still
80% vegetarian, 20% pescatarian, you know.
I won the bet. We didn't have a loud bet. It was a mental bet. My bad. I didn't even mean to interrupt. But I just remember yesterday I seen this nigga picture up in Lolo's.
But I ain't do that. Yeah, I was gonna eat this weekend though. Pause.
Okay. This was asked. I didn't know.
Yeah. You know what I noticed about vegetarians? You can get fatter being a vegetarian because they want you to eat bread and all that, pause all day and
this is true.
And pasta and all that. I was like, man, this is worse than just eating clean.
This is true. I know a few chubby paws vegetarians, man.
Yeah. They try to introduce me to what was it called? Pause. Slutty vegan. I said,
that's good.
You ate it before?
Yeah. That's not my favorite, but it's good.
Oh, I wouldn't eat it because of the name. It just sounded.
She from Harlem. Shout out to Pinky, man.
Yeah, shout out to Pinky,
man. I would eat it. I'm not a vegetarian. It's Harlem support Harlem, baby.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy though, but yeah. Shout out to Pinky.
You're not supporting Harlem.
You said you would eat it.
I would. That's wow. That's a pause, but if you don't want to support somebody from Harlem, that's on you.
No, I'm supporting. Shout out.
Shout out to Pinky.
Yeah.
They opened the Harlem location. I did the commercial for them, so congrats to her.
Okay, also, Bronny James is officially a Los Angeles Laker after being selected 55th overall. Do you guys think that the Lakers made the right choice? Maurice first.
I think they made the right choice, an obvious choice. I was happy to see it. You know, I think we've kind of heard about it all day and heard about it all week, and everybody expected it. But the clip that I seen on SportsCenter When I seen Savannah and Bronny when they was crying, that really did it for me, and it was special to me. One, I think the Lakers made the right decision, but then it was special to me to just see young Bronny have his moment, and then we get so used to seeing Savannah always being supportive of LeBron, and we've always seen her in that light, but it was different, to see her in a motherly role and happy for her kid. And I probably was in that same frame of thinking, just seeing my kid going to college. But seeing her happy for him and then seeing the little brother, he was behind recording the video of it all. So it was a special moment. And so I think the Lakers made the right decision. I think it was the obvious decision that everybody pretty much knew was going to happen. And so I was happy to see him get drafted.
I'm going to let Cam go. Y'all going to need me to go last on this one. Pause.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think it's dope. Listen, man. Like I said before, if the Greek Freak brothers is playing, there's no reason that Bronny shouldn't be playing. And what I'm about to say, I have no actual knowledge on. I haven't talked to anybody. This is not any text messages between me and the people that I'm talking about or nothing like that, or calls or nothing. This is just purely speculation from what I was hearing, and I didn't do any homework on it. I want to give Rich Paul a lot of credit, man. Rich Paul basically threatened the NBA and told niggas, if you draft Bronny, he's going to Australia. So basically, he gave Phoenix Suns the green light and the Lakers the green light. We got a nigga out here calling shots, man. Not a black man, a nigga. That nigga's a nigga. Out here telling niggas, don't touch niggas. I'm telling you that right now. You better not touch niggas. Because if not, we'll send him overseas and we'll make the same amount of money that he'll probably make this in his rookie contract anyway. Don't touch niggas. That's first and foremost. Secondly, I've seen some players complaining, saying that they earned their spot. Bronny didn't earn his spot. This, that, and the third. I'm officially changing the narrative. Fuck that. What your father did. We gotta start giving the fathers credit. I'm mad at my pops now. I had to figure shit out on my own. I ain't have nobody helping me out. My father wasn't there for me, getting me where I had to go. Doing it for my son now. You know, I'm setting it off. Look, GMs be hiring their sons. Owners hire their kids. Who running the Dallas Cowboys? Who's the president of the Dallas Cowboys, Mo? The Maxine.
Jerry Jones' son.
There you go. Exactly. I'm changing the narrative. Fuck that. What your pops did for you, nigga? What he did? So niggas is mad because that nigga father is LeBron James. So what? The Walmart kids is getting the Walmart money. The McDonald's kids is not the McDonald's. The nigga who took it from McDonald's. His kids is getting their money. Ray Kroc. The Crocs is getting the money. Listen. Fuck that. Fuck that.
And Paris Hilton is getting what she gets.
Yeah, and the Hiltons is getting what they get. Fuck that.
Trump is getting what they get.
Fuck that. I'm tired of this. Braun is this. Fuck that. What your pops did for you. I was looking at me and my nigga Larry, we driving over here. I'm looking at this nigga. One of my comedian's name, he made a great point. That's my point, but he said, well, Magic Johnson, you think he ain't want to play with his son? You think Magic ain't want to play with? What? You think he ain't want to play with his son?
Killing shit.
What? I'm just saying, nigga. Michael Jordan ain't want to play with his son.
Yeah, that's better.
No, you're turning it into something. I'm not. I'm talking about the greats. You turn it into something. I don't know what you talking about. I'm talking about niggas who got sons who wish they could have played with their sons.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the great player. You don't think these niggas wish their sons could?
D-Wade would have wanted to play with his son.
Yeah, exactly. That's, exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make. Niggas would have loved to play with their sons. And not saying they don't love their kids, but you know how proud of a moment is like, yo, nah, my nigga in the league. Whether it's manipulated, not manipulated, whatever. Whatever.
People do it all the time. I mean, in youth sports, there's a bunch of people playing that shouldn't be playing. And not putting this on him, but, you know, growing up watching people play and coaching different teams, there's a lot of people that be on the court or on the football field that actually are there because their dad bought the gym, their dad paid for the uniforms. There's all kind of things, and I'm not upset with that. I think that's a beautiful moment for basketball. But when it comes to how I didn't think they needed to lie to us about it. You know how sometimes I think I heard one of the guys say, you know what, they're not trying to play together. He's just trying to make it in the league. I wish they would have just stood on it from the jump and just said, you know what, we're going to play together and we're going to do everything in our power to make it happen. I think that would have even been a greater moment. But this moment is good. This moment is definitely good. I think it adds a lot of pressure to the Lakers organization because people are going to be watching this. But the fight is fixed. I mean, from LeBron's side, the fight is fixed. But there's some real iffy things that comes with this. Just watching them playing summer league and things like that is going to be a lot of pressure on them. But not that much pressure because no matter what, they can't afford to send them to the G League. So I don't know how much pressure that'll even really be. It should be pressure, but it won't because the fight is fixed.
I wasn't even finished. Fuck that. Like I was saying, niggas got to keep on. Turn that down. Niggas got to motherfucking start respecting the father. Shout out to my nigga Shamgar. His son just became the play coach for player development for the Celtics. Yeah. So that's what I was in the middle of saying before that. I'm changing the whole narrative of, oh, niggas got him because they pops. And so fucking what? End of the day, it isn't like Bronny got to go play tennis. It ain't like he got to go ice skate. It ain't like he got to go rock climbing. He been around basketball since he was born. So at the end of the day, it is going to be a lot of pressure, like Mase said, but niggas knew that. This ain't nothing new. You think his father isn't telling him that? You know, being my son, it ain't going to be no easy thing. He probably been dealing with that since he was 11 or 12, the pressure of coming with being LeBron James' son. And now it's just going to be to the next level and the highest level. Congratulations to the James family. Congratulations to Clutch Sports. I think this was a super dope moment, and we'll see what happens next.
And definitely...
I'll add on.
Go ahead, Maurice.
No, I'll add on to this. Like, before you came on, I was talking about Mase has many different layers. I think the resentment with LeBron and people throwing shots at him is like, you got in, or Bronny got in because of his father. It comes from, at the end of the day, when you play a sport for a team, you're an employee, right? And there's a bunch of former players who know that their power only went to a certain level. And when you're watching LeBron, you're watching somebody who acts like a boss and an owner in probably 90% of his life. And then the only area that he's viewed as a peer, he's viewed as like the guy who can do more than what the other guys do. And so to me, that's when I was saying, like, you watching something special. You've just never seen nobody come under all this pressure to perform and win all these championships and then just be having their way. And so, like, I know you was serious and you was joking, but it do needs to become the narrative, because now somebody can look at LeBron and say, man, if I perform very well, be it whatever it is, like, I can just wield my power over, or I can leverage my power towards the NBA organization to get things done for me that I probably didn't think of before. And just like you've seen people break through industries and do all type of stuff for the first time, I just think you're watching him do this stuff for the first time, and I think it's special. I think it's cool. Not to mention he's from Ohio, and I've known Savannah and Rich and all those guys for years. I just never thought I would see nothing like this, but I just think that a lot of it comes from that right there, where they look at him as an employee or a peer playing basketball for a professional team, but he functions like he basically runs the organization, and he's pulled off moves now that nobody's ever seen before.
Hey, yo, listen, real quick. I know we moving on. It's LeBron James, so they blowing it out of proportion. The Greek Freak has been doing this for a few years now. It's not, and it's new because it's his son. The Greek Freak is strong-arming his brother on the team. Like, we know this. We don't see, where's his NBA Combine tapes? Where's his scout report? Where's the video of the Greek Freak's brother saying, nah, we need to get that nigga in the NBA? It's been going on. It's LeBron James and his son, so it's escalated because it's him. But the Greek Freak got 2 brothers in the league. That ain't shit. Trash. I take Bronny over the Greek Freak brother. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, like I think the situation that now I'm gonna give you the voice of the people on the opposite side. They're probably thinking, and not that I feel this way, but there's people that feel like, but this is the Lakers organization. This is not any organization. This is the Lakers that's competing with the Celtics. Now the Celtics have won a championship, and they're saying, this is what they're saying. I'm not saying this. This is what they're saying. That the Lakers is looking like a reality show almost. But to me, I think this is going to compel LeBron to want to win. Now, I think the story gets even better if he wins a championship or go further with his son. Then it becomes a crazy story. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think LeBron would even, not that he would try to lose, but I know he's definitely not going to lose with his son playing with him. I think he's going to try to put his best foot forward to try to get a trophy with his son. That's just what I believe. When I saw him up there and I saw all the emotions, I was like, yo, you know what would be crazy? If the Lakers win with LeBron and his son, then I think he would truly retire that this year if he win the championship. So I just wanted to put that out there.
I think, and to add on what you're saying, look, I would agree with that statement as far as niggas saying the Lakers just turned into a circus. Who was available at 55? It isn't like they used not you, Mase, I'm just saying, general. Yeah. It isn't like they used a 17th pick on him. He's 55. This draft was super duper weak. Other niggas was going to get him, so they say, and Rich Paul said, don't even try it. What niggas that you could have been like, at 55, I'm talking about the 55th pick. Niggas passed on so-and-so from Boise State. Like, yo, my nigga, they could have grabbed so-and-so. It's the 55th pick in a weak-ass draft. Who else are you getting? So when niggas say that, it'd be like, I could see if they picked him in 17, I would have been like, oh, niggas is reaching. It was trash. Secondly, to Mase said, I don't think he retired. Secondly, I don't think he retired if he win because then you got about 3 years, maybe 2 now, if I'm thinking correctly, his other son could come. He got a 3-year deal with the Lakers. He got a 3-year deal with the Lakers. Bryce is be eligible in about 3. Now, Bryce, Bronny, and LeBron, yo, my nigga, y'all pulling off some Walt Disney shit, my nigga. This is shit that just made of dreams. This is shit to have a tear trickle down your eye. Bryce make it? Because to me, I like Bryce. I like Bryce a lot.
I like Bryce better than Bronny.
I like Bryce a lot, man. And Bryce is taller than Bronny. Bryce got one of them smooth-ass games. I like Bryce a lot. And this is not further than reality. You know, it's today when we talk about something like, yeah, that would be crazy. This is in a 2-3 year thing. I think Bryce is about to be a junior. So we got a junior
2026.
year. Yeah, it's 2024. So then we got one more, 2027, and LeBron James' contract is for 3 more years. Man, listen, even if he don't play with his brother and his father, even him just getting to the NBA would be crazy with all of them in the NBA at once.
I mean, I definitely agree with all you guys. I think it's definitely a dope opportunity because if anybody was in LeBron's position, they would do the same thing. But I do want to kind of further discuss a point that Cam did bring up. So obviously we do know that basically Rich Paul was telling other teams not to take Bronny. If so, he was going to Australia. That was also confirmed by Bob Myers. But I'm just curious on you guys' opinion. Do you guys feel like that is a bad look or do you feel like it's not a big deal because they got what they wanted? What do we think about that? And I'll let Maurice go first.
I don't think it's a bad look. I think it's sort of what Cam was talking about. Somebody finally, it's a nigga who exercising their power. You know, there's a bunch of people who exercise their power over athletes and players and black people every day. And Rich is just doing it now. And I'm pretty sure, like, not just the basketball thing, I can't imagine the amount of money and marketing dollars that he's going to be able to facilitate for his son. And when I look at it like that, like, it's so Rich, like, man, you're not about to fuck this up. You know what I'm saying? No other team is about to pick him and shelf him. And so I'm going to just go ahead and strong arm you all the way that you strong arm players. So I'm happy he did it if he did it. Like I said, I can't confirm that he did do it, but
Yeah, he did.
you know,
He did. And one thing I want to say that will be an interesting question, because I hear what Killer say, and I kind of agree with him, because I had a different point before he shared that, and I agree with what you're saying, and will be my question to that. So then, every time that this was done to a black person, was it okay? Because now you seem to feel like it's okay if somebody else does it. So that's just the question I want to put out there. What do you think about that, Mo?
so just to be clear on the question, can you say it again?
You know, like you said, he stronged arm his way, got what he wanted. The deal was done based upon just the bloodline of this person, not just their credentials, but the bloodline. So now when it happens with with another nationality or group of people, is it now okay since both sides can do it now?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's right or wrong. That's all left up to each individual. But it's exercising leverage in business, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you starting off negotiations, you're trying to put your client or whoever you represent in the best situation. And like, what are you trying to do when you do any deal? You're trying to get to your desired space that you want to do. And if you know what you want,
Yeah.
then you understand what leverage you have. I think the point that I was making is that you've never seen a black person have leverage in a professional space ever. Like, I just don't remember too many, and I know this is going into a different direction. The reason that you've killed off the running back is because running backs would hold football teams hostage and hold out during camp, and they'll just fuck everything up. That's why you have this emergence of quarterbacks, because it's like, okay, we can have more influence over quarterbacks, and these are white guys who will have influence over, and not these niggas who are running the ball. That's just a blunt way of saying it, but I'm saying watching Rich Paul do this and basically function in a space where he was on the show, they probably resent him. People think that he's only in his position for the same reason that Bronny's in his position, because somebody made a way for him. But we as black people always talk about, we want to see black people make it and black excellence and black people come together. I guess I'm just seeing it with them in real time, and I'm like
Yeah.
happy that he's using his leverage for it. I think that's a cleaner way of saying it.
Yeah, I'm basically saying, so based upon what you're saying, then it's not wrong. Moving forward, it shouldn't be seen as wrong. It's just who you prefer
No,
to elevate.
yeah, I just think in business, yes. The short answer is yes. I
Yeah,
don't think
because
it's wrong.
when it's on the, you know how people say when the shoe is on the other foot, you don't see nothing wrong with it. So when the shoe is on the opposite foot, then we should just let it go, because that's just who they desire to do business with and be okay with it. You get what I'm saying, Stat?
Yeah.
Or no?
Kind of.
So let's say you're saying when a non-black person exercises this power is not cool, and this is the first time you saw a black person do it. So when a black person does it, you felt like it was good, is what should happen, and it was great to see. So I'm saying, moving forward, we should just understand we got to work to be in a better situation, because anybody that's in that position should do what they could do. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yes, but I just think it's just so new to watch a black person have power at such a level like this. You know what I'm saying? I think that's like probably like the biggest point I'm trying to make. Like, we've never seen it, and I don't know. We've just never seen it. I think that's the point that I'm making. And to watch somebody exercise the power that they do have and not be fearful or not move in a way where they're governed by some agency. You remember he was up under, I think there's what, CAA, but he's
Yeah,
independently doing this stuff now, and so it feels good to be doing that. But I think, like, to answer, I guess, the first part of your question, him being in a position to do this is
it's
everything,
great.
and it's new. You know what I mean? And so you hope that over time, more people, more black people, more Hispanic people, more people who are other than white have the ability to leverage their power. The reason that we say it's unfair with white people is because, like, oftentimes when white people lean on black people in sports, so like black people don't even have the leverage to push back, right? You kind of got to accept whatever they give you, and that's when we say, man, it's unfair, because like we bringing a knife to a gunfight. You know what I'm saying? That's how I like a lot of these situations feel at times when you have black players negotiating or black agents negotiating. You don't feel like you have the same leverage as somebody who can lean on you. So seeing Rich Paul do what he's done feels good. I think that's why Cam had so much pride when he came onto the show. It's like, man, it's
Yeah.
finally good that we see one of us being able to leverage our power.
Yeah, and I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying the things I'm saying for the conversation, so we can have both views represented. So if somebody's watching the show, they don't look at us as biased.
I got you.
You look at me how you want to look at me out there, man. I don't give a fuck. I don't really care. That's the thing with me. I never cared. I don't care who it is. I'm going to have my opinion, and I'm financially stable enough to say what I want to say. That's the thing about me. Stat, what was the exact question?
Basically, I was saying, do you think it's a bad look for Rich Paul to basically tell your teams that he would send Bronny to Australia if they chose him, or you think it's not a big deal?
It's a bad look for James Harden to come to practice fat because he don't want to play with the team. Is it a bad look when Ben Simmons comes to practice with his cell phone in his pocket and it's falling all out of his pocket so he don't have to play with the team? Is it a bad look when Peyton Manning be like, yo, if these niggas is picking me, I'm not going to that team. Fuck that. When he was getting drafted, was that a bad look? If you could use your leverage, use your leverage. Was it a bad look when Anthony Davis said, I'm not playing fourth quarters no more when he played in New Orleans? Niggas be using their leverage. If you could use your leverage, why not use your leverage? It's just, this has been going on for years and decades and probably centuries. The reason why we're talking about it now is because it's niggas. And niggas can't believe it. These motherfucking niggas. When did they get the power to start doing the shit that they doing? We could do that. Not the, now they think they could call the shots. Fuck is these niggas? Nah, man, this has been going on for years. This niggas has figured it out. That's why sometimes, I get upset when I sit there and say, this nigga want to switch teams again and switch teams again or whatever. The shit these players is doing, don't get me wrong, a lot of it I don't condone because I'm into competition and playing and competing against the best and not having the league lopsided as far as football, basketball, any sport. But when you the owner, these niggas be trading niggas in the middle of the night. Niggas will be sitting there asleep in Denver and wake up in Milwaukee. My nigga, this been going on for years. So now that the players have figured out, I don't want a no trade clause in my shit. Nah, matter of fact, if you trade me, I ain't showing up. We talk about how, I'm just using a recent example, but there's several examples of this. Drew Holiday got traded to the Trailblazers for Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
Nigga ain't going to the Trailblazers. Nigga say, you keep me if you want. I wish I would show up to Portland. You need to figure it out with somebody else. And I'm not saying that was his attitude.
Yeah.
But we seen it done before. Where niggas be like, oh yeah, I play for the Sacramento Kings. I'm not going there. So Sacramento, if y'all want to get on the phone with some people and figure it out, cool, because I'm not showing up and you don't want to waste a roster spot, time getting ready for the season, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, this has been going on for a long time. It's just that niggas is doing it now and niggas got a problem with it.
Yeah.
And listen, Rich Paul is a black man, but he's a nigga. That's the real problem. It's black man and it's niggas. He knows how to conduct himself as a black man, but that nigga's a nigga, and that's the problem they got with that. Niggas don't like niggas. Niggas like Barack, clean cut, light-skinned black men. Niggas be in there? They do not like niggas, B. They don't.
Yeah, I think a great question would be to ask like people like Magic. What does he think about it? Just to add color to it. And I know Kobe probably wouldn't be in favor of it because he's a basketball purist, but I definitely understand the sentiment and the time that we're in.
Real quick to add to that, Kobe got all daughters. Think Kobe, if he had a son, wouldn't try to pull this shit off? He's doing it with his daughter. He's doing the shit you was trying to do, coaching and everything, nigga.
I'm saying Kobe would have made him earn it. Kobe wouldn't have did this.
So you're saying that Bronny didn't earn it? That's what you're saying?
I'm not going on record saying he ain't earn it, but I'm saying Kobe wouldn't have wanted it this way. He would have wanted to earn it.
Okay.
Are you saying your thoughts or are you saying like the other side thoughts? Is this how
that's
Mase
my
feels?
thought. That's my thought. That's my thought.
Okay, this is a good conversation, y'all. Okay, so before we move on, how are we feeling about the second day of the draft? Do you guys like that it goes over 2 days? Did anybody really stick out to you guys? How are we feeling about this day two? Maurice first.
No, I didn't pay attention to anybody other than the UConn players and Bronny. Just like it is.
Yeah.
They could have did this all in one day. Just to be honest, they could have did the entire draft. It's only 60 picks. And they could have just been done with it.
Okay, and then I got to ask you really quick. So UConn has had 8 players drafted in 6 seasons under Dan Hurley, including 6 in the last 2 seasons. How are you feeling about his impact? Because he's always making historical numbers. So I'm sure you can attest to that, Maurice.
I like this, man. It's like anything else, man. When you see, I've seen a lot of these young kids come directly from high school, and you step on campus, they dreaming, and all of them want to go to the NBA, and I don't know, who's able to go versus who isn't, and just to see some of those young kids, live out their dreams, like I still get like that magical moment that everybody sees on TV where you see a kid around his family and they crying, and you end up seeing mothers and fathers like the kid Stephen Castle, right? I remember meeting his mother out in Arizona and just knowing what he comes from, knowing his family, meeting these people in the lobbies and hanging out with them, and just knowing these dudes' lives are changed. I just think that's special. I think for any kid, what I'm saying, whether you want the first pick or the last pick, you're going to get some money. And I know NIL has contributed to it, but you're getting some money and you finally reached that destination. So I'm proud for all the kids that came from UConn, and this only helps them to bring in more kids because now you can say, hey, we win national championships and we send kids in the first round.
Yeah, I really believe when I was looking at the draft, Castle, I thought he would have went earlier being a 6'6" guard. But this is what happens. I think the whole entire second day was set up just for Bronny, and that's a good thing. But that's how it comes across. It's the first time they ever did it, and I think if it would have happened in the first day, it would have kind of overshadowed some other people's moments. So this just speak to the power of the people that be.
I ain't watched that shit.
Yeah. So the second day, and I think it was a great idea because it maximizes the brand. It maximizes the brand for the Lakers. So I'm for all of that. I'm just speaking as a basketball purist.
And then also just adding to that, I mean, Bronny being the 55th pick and this being on the second day had a lot of impact. Like, I don't think we've gotten this late into the rounds and been that enthusiastic to see a player get drafted. So to your point, it being later on, it does work to kind of give the first people their shine. But I think a person that we were all waiting to see what was going to happen was Bronny James. So.
Yeah, because once it got to like the 40th pick, you know how normally in the draft, it starts saying all of the talent that's still out there. It's like they just kept saying Bronny. And that it's a dope thing. I mean, I wouldn't trade that moment for anything. That's what's supposed to happen. If you can do it, like Killer said, you do it because you got the leverage to do it. That's why you work to get leverage so you can use it to your advantage. So I don't want nobody to hear me and think, oh, Mase is hey, no, I'm just giving you the realities of it. Like, yo, even though you can do some things, it doesn't always mean it's the best thing to do. You could do a lot of things.
All right, so we're going to go to break. When we return, we will discuss this new rule by the NCAA. Don't go anywhere.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? I mean, is there...
I was selling crack on a private jet up in the... I didn't get the shot at Dipset Couture. Make sure you go online to dipsetcouture.us to order some shirts and everything else. But
So I'm going to get some cheeks after this horsepower.
jewelry and bikes, nigga. Black Benzes and white Vigors. Now I'm out here and I'm looking for more chandeliers and light fixtures. Nah, I don't like niggas. What's wrong with me? I'm a hype nigga, but this 44 turn to Michael Jordan. I look and say, take flight, nigga.
Welcome back. Now let's get into our Underdog Fantasy picks of the day. So tonight, the Mercury will play the Sparks. Underdog Fantasy has Brittany Griner at 7.5 rebounds. Do you have her higher or lower, Mase?
Higher.
Higher.
Okay. Diana Taurasi is at 15.5 points. Do you have her higher or lower, Cam?
Higher.
Higher. Come on, man.
Okay. And Dearica Hamby is at 4 first quarter points. Do you have her higher or lower, Mase?
I'm going lower. Pause.
Higher.
Hey, download the Underdog Fantasy app and you can make your picks too. We are joined back with our analyst, Maurice Clarett. So the NCAA will no longer be testing athletes for cannabis after removing it from the banned drug list for athletes participating in championships and postseason games. How are we feeling about this new change? Maurice first.
I'm happy that the excuse me. I'm happy that the NCAA is just finally getting out the way and getting on board with what's been taking place for forever. You know, kids in college, kids in professional sport, or adults in professional sports, they gonna smoke weed. Before this ruling came out, it used to be a rule that either for PEDs or for weed, they would test you in March, and it was like very known that they would test you in March, and so the coaches would get with all the college kids and say, "Hey, man, clean up right before March," and they would do everything to get you to pass the test. And so this is basically saying, hey, now that we're paying these dudes with NIL money, now that we're sharing revenue, and now that we're paying these niggas to perform, we don't want to have these dudes sitting on the sideline. And so that came from somebody's board of directors and everybody else. And so I'm actually happy. I'm actually happy with it. I think I don't know who else said it earlier. I think Mase said it earlier, where people are just vocal and out front about what's really going on. And this is just a step to see what's going on. But the interesting thing that I don't know is that I wonder how this will affect the NFL. Because if you get college kids believing that, it's okay to smoke weed, and then the NFL really isn't all the way on board with just, weed smoking and the testing, I just wonder how it's going to affect the kids at the next level, those who do go.
And just for learning's sake, if they're not testing for it, are you able to come in smelling like weed from your vantage point?
Yeah, kids do it already. You know what I mean? And that's not a right or wrong thing. And I believe there was players, man, who I seen play. They play better. I don't want to say it just sounds crazy saying it, but they just function better high, or they were just different people. Once they were under the influence, whether they was performing, whether they was lifting weights, whether they was in meetings. You have indica, you have sativa, you have different strains of weed that makes you operate differently. So they've already been doing it. This is just them publicly coming out and saying it. But I think them saying it is only for them not being able to have players be suspended for basically getting popped for dirty urines.
Oh, man. I remember AI was getting 40. He was smoking weed, and he didn't care about it, but he was getting 38, 40, 42. And, I mean, I know we're talking about college, but you're right. There are some people that perform very well that way. I just don't know how that would roll over if you have a good game and then you walk by and you see, let's see, Pat Riley or somebody, and they're looking at you and they can smell the weed when you walking in the tunnel. But like Killer said, if you're good enough, they'll make a way for it, or they'll turn the other way for it. So I don't really have much to say about that.
Yeah, Mo, you made a great point. It's not just I know a few people, and some kids on the spectrum, they function better when they're on cannabis and not to be high, just to fit into society better. Sometimes they're socially awkward and they're tense and they're jumpy, and it actually helps them. I'm not just talking about athletes. I'm just talking about people in general that function better on weed. And I know we're talking about athletes. That's something totally different. But to your point, I get what you're saying when you was talking about people actually being in certain settings, being better with weed. Like I said, it isn't just athletes. It's sometimes just calming yourself down from a situation. I know somebody who, if they leave the room and come back in the room and it's not the same as when they left, they kind of bug out and have to leave the room again and get ready to see how the room looked. It was like the craziest shit I ever seen. I forget what it was called, but she explained it to me. But the weed calmed her down, make a long story short. Back to the original question. Look, man, NCAA, y'all ain't low, my nigga. Y'all not low. This NIL shit fucked y'all up. It fucked y'all up bad. Now y'all want to pay students, let them smoke their weed. Fuck it. Do whatever the fuck they got to do. We got to get these motherfucking players to our school. I don't give a fuck. As long as it ain't crack, cocaine, let them smoke their fucking weed, man. All right, what are we talking about here? I can see the meeting. I can actually see this meeting. What are we talking about here? It's legal in 37 states. Why are we not having what are we complaining about? They're not coming in here on crystal meth. Everybody smokes weed. John, your wife smokes weed. She smoked weed with my wife. That meeting was probably fucking crazy because it was so easy to decide. What we was talking about one show, Mo, a few weeks ago, the schools, state by state, we see in every week a new state saying it's okay to pay players, right?
Yes.
Now they can smoke weed too. Do what you got to do. We are losing. We losing bad. Every fucking year we keep losing. Shout out to Deion Sanders. You shook this shit up. Niggas can smoke weed now and the schools is paying niggas. This is what happens when a nigga come in there and change what's not regular. And I'm not saying Deion Sanders is letting his players smoke weed or anything like that. I'm talking about what the schools are willing to do now to get kids to come to their school. Paying y'all and letting y'all get high. NCAA, y'all not low. Yeah. Y'all are not low. Y'all could have been doing this for years, man. Y'all put Chris Webber, the Fab Five, all these players, fucking Reggie
through the
Bush.
Ringer, yep.
Through the ringer, throwing a monkey wrench in their program, and now y'all saying, damn, they figured a way around us. Just let them do the shit that they've been doing anyway. More nigga shit, even if they white, wigger shit. It don't matter. Let them do what they got to do to get them to our school. It's dumb obvious, and it kind of disgusts me a little bit because it's like, y'all not even being, y'all didn't, like, for instance, Mo, and I didn't see the statement or anything like that. I would have been more happy if them niggas would have been like, due to studies, we have went back and found out that marijuana is not so-and-so, so-and-so, this, that, and the third, and it's actually culpable to help you become a better. I would have been happy with that. Not just, no, y'all niggas can smoke now if y'all want. Come to our school and we got 20,000 for you if you need it. That's what they basically saying without saying it. Y'all ain't low.
So, man, it's to your point. Most of the times when this stuff comes out, you would hear somebody saying, hey, man, we're having this discussion in our chambers and we've been discussing it for 4 or 5 months. When you look at the timing of this, soon as they said that the decision for revenue sharing came out, man, 3 weeks later, this comes out. You know what I'm saying? And it's basically, man, we need these niggas on the field. That's it. Or we need these niggas on the basketball court. That's it.
Yeah, it ain't, yo, it's mad obvious. It's not, that's why I said shit is blatant.
And then go.
Yeah, I think when it comes to it, like, they just gotta watch it because when you're dealing with weed, if somebody get their joint laced and they run on the court and do something crazy, it could go. I don't think college sports is ready for a bad batch. You know what I'm saying? That's just thinking out loud. You know, a football player hit the wrong blunt. It's gonna be a real. We'll see it. You'll see it. Because everybody ain't gonna be honest with what they selling. So, you know, that's going to be a crazy time.
And then just for a little bit more context so you guys can hear the quote that the chair of the council said. So he said the NCAA drug testing program is intended to focus on integrity of competition, and cannabis products do not provide a competitive advantage. They want to center on student athlete health and well-being rather than punishment for cannabis use. So I think it's just to really just lay off the whole stress of like, okay, you're smoking weed. Like, we want you to focus, play a good game. We're going to take that out the way. But Mase, you do bring up a good point because you can't regulate certain things. So you never
regulate
know.
it. If somebody give you the wrong blunt and a nigga on the layup line and he just start tweaking. I mean, we from Harlem, so we know nigga get a bad blunt. All jokes aside, like a little kid from Harlem just ran off the roof the other day. It's like people get the wrong blunt, they could do something really crazy. So just adding that other side.
It's basically not, this has nothing to do with Mason. it's like all over the place with sports. And I know Olympics and track and everything else. Girl just was smoking weed, killing niggas running, and got suspended. Now the NCAA is sitting there saying, smoking weed, come play for us. Take the money. It's all good. You can do whatever you want to do. Shit, there's no balance. It's all over.
Great point. Okay, and so now we're going to discuss Devin Haney. So he says he's ready for this Ryan Garcia rematch, and he wants it back in blood. He said, I would love for my next fight to be against Ryan Garcia. I want to get mine back in blood. I'm just that kind of fighter. He will pay for what he did in and out of the ring. So after hearing that, how do you guys feel about Devin Haney's comments about Ryan Garcia? Maurice first.
I'm happy. I think he's probably he's heard all the conversation. He's probably went through, all the drama of the PEDs and everything like that. And I think he went back in that gym or he talked to somebody who was real with him. And they said, man, the only way you get your get back, it ain't through talking, it ain't through social media, it ain't through arguing over a live, it ain't your pops going out here and defending your name. The only way when you a fighter to get your get back is to get inside that ring and see if you can really whoop his ass, because I'm pretty sure he's on social media like everybody else. Everything that he says, like, hey, man, give me my zero back. And everybody's response is people can't unsee that ass whooping, right? And I think that affects him, right? And I really believe that he's a champion. He's been a fighter since forever. And I think, you just have to be honest with yourself. Like, how do I redeem myself? The only way you redeem yourself is if you get back in that ring and walk that road and go back to those, face-offs and, you get back in ring. And so I'm proud for him to even say it, because that means he's obligated himself to say, hey, I want to do this again. And I hope that, Ryan, and I know he got, personal shit going on with, wanting to fight this year-long suspension, but I hope they do get back in the ring. And, I really hope Devin redeems himself the right way in the ring.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you, Mo, on this, because when it comes to Devin Haney, his initial response to the loss was kind of shattering for us as Devin Haney fans. If you look at how he first was talking, like, I probably never get in the ring with him. And then you see how they was trying to get him to fight the other guy. And he didn't want to fight the guy. His team said they wasn't ready to take that fight. I truly believe the conversations did make its way to his brain and saying, you know what, you got to get back in the ring. You can't just call places, try to get these videos deleted. And that's kind of like, how it seemed like he was thinking. And somewhere it's like, bro, they're not going to pull down the pay-per-view. They're not going to pull down. The song can't get it pulled down. Matchroom can't get it pulled down. You're going to have to fight again. And he didn't even have to fight Ryan Garcia next, but he has to get back to fighting. I think when you take a whole year off, and if you had a problem making weight and you take a whole year off, it will be even harder to make that weight, because you got to kind of stay close to that weight level to fight at that fight. And that's too much management for a person that just got beat so decisively. And not to mention, it's great that he's saying this, but what happens if Ryan gets drugged up again? Like, I know a lot of people saying because he's on probation, he probably won't do it. But I mean, if you're a troll, you're a troll, right? What makes him not get in a press conference and start talking crazy to him? I'm juiced up, right? I'm juiced up. You ready to fight, nigga? Because I might be juiced up, nigga. And then he started talking to him like that. It's definitely going to do something to the way he's thinking, because his initial response showed that he was very fragile mentally. And I wish nothing more for the fighters of today, especially Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, that they really develop mentally so they're not so broken when you lose one fight. It seemed like people are so broken by one fight, and Muhammad Ali and people like that lost 5 fights and still came back to beat those people. And sometimes you got to take a fight somewhere else before you fight Ryan Garcia. So that's what I feel about this. I don't feel like Ryan should be the next fight. but you should take a fight before the year is over with somebody else that you probably could beat. But if you're so locked in about the money, then it's going to force you to go back to this fight, and you might not be ready. And that's what we saw happen to Deontay Wilder. He jumped right back in the ring with Fury, got beat worse. And now where do we go from here? If he gets beat worse next time, it'll be completely over for him. And I think that's a bad decision. And I got super love for the Haneys and the whole camp, but I think that's a bad decision, especially when dealing with a troll. There's too much going on. If he's mentally fragile and this guy is mentally challenging outside and in the ring, that's a bad combination.
I went to the fight next. If I don't think that he could beat him. And like I said, I fuck with Devin and I fuck with Bill. His styles make fights. Way he would have a chance, my personal opinion, is if they follow the same guidelines that Tank did. I don't know what weight they're going to meet at, but that rehydration shit matters. And Tank was smart, and his camp took advantage of that. And Ryan, you could tell in the fight, if you look at Ryan in the ring with Tank, and you look in Ryan in the ring with Devin, it's two totally different niggas. It's almost like a skeleton to a diesel nigga. Pause.
Yeah.
It's two totally different niggas. So that rehydration shit really, really matters. It matters a lot. So if you're gonna do that, the Haney camp I'm talking to, I support it. If not, even if you had a fight in between, I just think that Mase made a great point just now. The mental games, he plays a lot. He looks bigger. Pause. Like I seen him trying to fucking troll Tank in real time after Tank's fight. Talking about, yo, you gotta give me a rematch after Tank knocked out Homeboy a couple weeks ago. He's in the ring apron talking to Tank. He's like, yo, I gotta get the rematch. And Tank said, yo, you look like you're 200 pounds. Like, that's what Tank told him. He's like, bro, that nigga's walking around like 200, now nigga. So if you even get him down to 147 or 140, the next day he gonna balloon up to 170, 180, and them left hooks look like they hurt. Them shits look like they hurt, man. I think it needs a lot of strategy needs to be thought about before just rushing back into it. I get it. We found out the nigga was cheating. I seen Bill Haney actually on live with Ryan, having a great conversation. Shout out to Zab Judah. I think he put that together. It was really dope. Ryan was really the calmest I ever seen Ryan. He was like, yo, I'm not arguing. He was like, I don't even have to be here. I'm telling you what happened, what I took, et cetera, et cetera. But my personal opinion is, before you go into these fights, a lot of strategy has to be done.
Yeah.
Going back to Floyd Mayweather, and I'll wrap this up quickly. Going back to Floyd Mayweather, he was probably one of the best strategists besides boxers. He would sit down and say, oh, Canelo, you think you that nigga? And you so-and-so, you 22, you're the best. Meet me at 154. Cool. You sit there and you fight Manny Pacquiao. When he fights Manny Pacquiao, I can't think of homeboy's name, but he took Manny Pacquiao's strength and conditioning coach, and he hired him just not to go work with Manny Pacquiao. He kept him in the gym with him every day, and he didn't even use him for his training. He just said, you can't go hang out with him. I don't know what y'all got going on, but I don't like it. Y'all fuck niggas up together. You work for me. All this is strategy. Yeah. We sit there and watch him, whether he told us or not, or didn't say it, we sit there and watch him on FaceTime with Ryan Garcia say,
3 pounds.
We sit there and see him in Tank's corner before they start falling out, rehydration clause. This nigga's smart. And instead of being emotional, that's what you got to do, is come up with a great strategy and not have a rematch built off of emotions. Because Mase made a great point when it came to Deontay Wilder. That was purely off emotions when it came with Tyson Fury.
Yeah, and another thing, going back to this fight, if you look at like you said, how he fought Gervonta, the first 2 rounds he was trying to attack Gervonta the same way. So we know that he's going to be aggressive, and if you knock somebody out, the first time you fight them again, you're coming for that same knockout. I wouldn't throw nothing but that hook. You're gonna have to show me you could take the hook. And I think that's just horrible, man. Like, just a horrible decision. And Another thing he got to come to terms with is that you took the money for the 3 pounds. So then you don't get to complain about the 3 pounds if you take the money for the 3 pounds and still fight. So if you and a fighter come in the ring, he's like, he 5 pounds over, but give me $1 million and we still fight. If I give you the $1 million, you don't get to say that I'm 5 pounds over because we paid for that. And you got in the ring with the money. And I'm not saying that he took the money, but I'm saying that's the concept. That's what another thing I thought about. I didn't want to leave that out.
So I got to ask, if Devin Haney's next fight was the rematch fight, what would happen to him and his legacy that he's starting if he lost?
It depends on how. Go ahead, Mo. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna think like I think about how Keith Thurman when he lost, and I think about guys like Earl Spence, and I'm pretty sure. Well, it's two things I want to say. The first thing I want to say, it was back to Cam when he was talking about how Floyd at times has wisdom from being in the game so long, and it made me think of like sometimes they may reject Floyd for some reasons, but if people value wisdom, they would keep him around for just these nuanced things that they should know in regards to boxing. That was one thing, but I think like that's like even having the wisdom with how do you toe the line with making sure you can make money, but then also picking the right fights and all of the little nuances around it. That's probably, and I don't know Bill, and I don't want to say it is him, but that's probably what somebody like Floyd would do for some of these guys, just walking that path and being around the game for so long. But I don't know, boxing is fickle, and every time everybody runs from a loss or that they don't want to lose, they devalue the prizes that they can make moving forward because it becomes about the undefeated record and never getting beat by anybody. So I believe that he would be just like one of these other guys who ends up losing and they go to the wayside, but you need somebody to change the narrative. I know the guy from Saudi Arabia wants to create one league and have guys fight each other. You would obviously lose more in that scenario, but I just think that he would end up being like somebody else. And I'm pretty sure that his father weighs that in his mind. Like, hey, man, if you go out here and lose, we could be on the outside begging guys for fights. And so I think that in the state of boxing now, you ruin your career.
Yeah, and I think you're right. That narrative needs to change because there's only, I think, about 2 fighters I remember staying undefeated, Floyd and probably one other boxer. So I think running with that narrative is unrealistic. Everybody's going to lose at some point. So making your whole legacy based on not losing is not really a great plan when you're daring to be great. And Devin Haney doesn't cross me as a guy that doesn't want the smoke. He's the guy. That's why he got in this position, because he wanted the smoke, because he knew what their history was and he wanted to clear that up. So my hat does go off to him about that, because even all the times he got knocked down, he never caved in. He got up every time. Even though he got beat worse as he got up, he still got up. And I think he needs Floyd. I want to go on the record and say that he needs Floyd, because the style of way that he fights, Floyd is the best at using your strengths against you. Nobody else I've seen in boxing does that like Floyd. He'll take the thing that you do well and use that to your disadvantage. And I think that's what Devin has to learn to do. How do I make this hook to his disadvantage? Like, when he does this, I'm going to do this. And without that, I don't think he wins. So he gotta humble himself and go get with Floyd. I think Shakur gotta get with Floyd. Haney gotta get with Floyd. And whoever think they're gonna beat Tank, they better go get with Floyd. That's probably the only way they could beat Tank.
Yeah, everybody wants to be undefeated and stay undefeated, but I think it's because of Floyd. Floyd is the standard for these young niggas, and Floyd retired undefeated. So when niggas don't want their O to go, they already think, damn, I'm not going to be better than what Floyd was, because Floyd's not the young nigga no more. When we was younger, Floyd might have been looking at Roy Jones, or you might have been looking at Mike Tyson, or you might have been looking at Larry Holmes, Muhammad. It depends on how old you are. But for these niggas, Floyd's the standard, and he has 0 losses. So once you lose, In their brain, I'm talking about. You're already not going to be the best. Because the best nigga that we ever seen, talking about the younger fighters, never lost. So that's why I think these fighters are so protective of not losing. But you could still lose and be that nigga. Manny Pacquiao lost 5-6 times. Manny Pacquiao fight any one of these niggas. Tank, fucking Devin, Shakur, nigga, the lights is on, nigga. He's not a bigger star than him. Now, don't get me wrong, Tank is right there, but Manny's international and Tank's on his way. Y'all niggas want to get a check? Stop calling Floyd and everybody. Call Manny out.
Yeah, Manny will show up.
Manny's coming to fight y'all niggas. He about 45. He coming to fight every last one of y'all niggas. Y'all want to get a real check? Y'all want to see the pay-per-view numbers go up? Y'all want to see the arena filled to the Raptors? Call Manny Pacquiao. He got 5 losses, 6 losses. He's showing up like he ain't ever lost a fight in his life. That's the attitude you got to have because everybody's not going to have a 0 record moving forward. And I get it. You got Floyd Mayweather. You got Terrence Crawford. These niggas ain't lose, so you like, damn, if I lose, I ain't never. Nah, you can still be great. Sometimes style make fights. Sometimes when boxing, you get caught slipping one night. It's a fight. It can happen. But stop thinking because if you lose a fight, it's over. It's not over. And what happens is you're really depriving the fans and slowing down your career because y'all are picking and choosing and taking too long to fight each other because you got to make sure you don't lose. Keith Thurman, you brought him up. He got 1 loss. Who'd he lose to? Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. So at the end of the day, we got to stop. I'm talking about you as boxers. Don't think 1 loss is over for you, my nigga. Great boxers. Some of them have 3, 4, 5, 6 losses. But if y'all niggas want to check, call Manny Pacquiao. He's showing up. He definitely showing up.
At what weight class? What weight class?
Manny Pacquiao started off at 110 and went up to 154. That nigga, whatever weight class,
fight 140.
Whatever weight class you want to meet him at, he know how to get there.
Yeah, him and Tank would be a goodie.
Yeah, I think that's better than the Floyd and Tank. Yeah. I think Tank and Manny Pacquiao.
Or Lomachenko.
Yeah, I think I would really like to see Tank and Pacquiao because we know Pacquiao ain't backing up. He fight coming forward. Tank fight coming forward. We seen Pacquiao been put to sleep. But Pacquiao come with them 6, 7, 8 punch combinations.
Jumping in and jumping.
Yeah. Pacquiao and Tank, amazing. I would love to see that.
Well, great conversation, Maurice. Thank you for being here.
Mo, appreciate you, baby.
That's all our time, Stat?
Yeah. As I said, it was a good discussion. Okay.
There we go.
That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. 2 Big Macs. Like when they doing them 2 for $5.